This is Scott the Fix-It Guy. Our goal with our videos is to empower you to be able to do the repairs on your own and save a whole lot of money and also get that great feeling of having fixed it by yourself.
Today we have an older Maytag dryer that making a rumbling sound when it runs, and my suspicion is it's probably the blower wheel shaft, the motor shaft and the blower wheel aren't really connected well anymore. Let's see how it sounds. So you get that kind of intermittent rumble. One way you can test it is to get it spinning. When you open the door, if you hear a continuing rumble even after the drum is stopped, but you still hear something rumbling, that's the blower wheel down here. Let's test it. Yeah, so we saw the drum had stopped, but you still heard it. So that means that has gotten stripped out, and that's pretty common, but it takes a while. This dryer is probably 25, 30 years old, and finally they fail. This is what the blower wheel looks like. These are pretty cheap. You can get them on Amazon. It comes with a little clamp, and it has a kind of like a flat side and then a round side. But what happens is this gets kind of worn out, and it no longer has a flat part. So the flat part is the motor shaft has a flat part too. They match up. As the motor turns, the blower wheel turns. But when that gets all eroded, then the motor shaft turns, but this thing doesn't turn, or it turns when it wants to, because there's not very good connection point. So we're just going to change this. Pretty easy to do. Just take you a few minutes. And first thing, we always like to turn off the power. So in this one, we're just going to unplug it, which is right there. And after we unplug it, what we want to do is get off the front panel. And on these older Maytags, it's pretty easy. There's usually two Phillips head screws, one there, one there. Sometimes they're at a 90-degree angle and easy to get to. Sometimes they're at a diagonal like this one, a little bit harder to get to. Okay, there's one of them. The other one's right there. All right, and then you're going to grab the whole dryer front panel, bring it out about 45 degrees, and then it's going to disconnect from a couple of clips up here. Pull it out, disconnect, and we got a couple of wires here. Make sure it's unplugged. Pull off these two wires. I'm going to get them out of this little guide here. Okay, so that panel's off. So we got to get this out of the way, and this is all connected to this part. So there's just 4 screws we have to remove here and get this bulkhead off, and we'll get it out of the way right here.
Three, 4.
Yep, and we're going to lift this up a little bit. And there's some rollers here that are holding up the drum, so lift that up a little bit and get that off to the side. Don't worry about the wire, you can just set it off to the side. Now we want to get in and remove all of these little screws. These are I believe 1/4 inch.
We're going to start removing these guys. These are just 1/4 inch. Don't worry about these wires, you can keep them connected. We're just going to move this whole panel out of here, but first we just got to get these screws off. Alright. Some of them, because of the angle, will be really hard to get to. But if you have one of these angle tools, it can help. Getting most of those angles pretty good. Should come out good. low here.
A little bit bigger. Get that one out. So to get to this harder one, I'm just using that same socket, 1/4-inch socket, but I'm using a ratchet, a small ratchet to get in there. That's great. Okay, I can get the rest just using my fingers. Spin that out. And then once we get that one out, we can just remove this panel. We can get right to the blower wheel. There we go. Okay, so just grab the blower wheel or panel, bring it toward us. Here's the blower wheel. You can see that it's just worn out. It has a little. This is a hose clamp, and that's unusual. That would be on there. Usually is not there, but probably was an attempt before to tighten that up. So we're going to get off this circlip. So you need like a little circlip tool to do that. I think I have one right here. Get this little guy in there. There we go. Squeeze to separate the clip. Work on that. That little circlip came off. So now you should be able to pull it off. If you can't pull it off, oh, it's interesting, like a little shim. If you can't pull it off, you may have to compress the spring clamp. This one's just like a hose clamp. You should be able to wiggle it off, and then you can see on the motor shaft there is a circlip behind it, which is important. We shouldn't touch that one. You see a flat section, and the rest of the motor shaft is round. We just squeeze in on the clamp, comes off, and put this on the motor shaft. Sometimes these a little hard to get these on because they're kind of tight. So pushing and wiggling, push that onto the motor shaft. Let's start. There it goes. All right, that's great. So I'm going to go ahead and put that circlip back on. First I'll put it on the spring clamp. There we go. That one's on. And now we'll do the circlip. Tool, spread it out, put that back on in the groove, make sure it's in the groove. Alright, that's great. Okay, get this back on its support wheels. There we go. Put this panel back in. So I had to lift up on the drum a little bit. Line these back up, lift up on this guy a little bit.
Here's a 1/4-inch screw. Try to line these up a bit better. That looks good. You can see now when you turn this a little bit, you can see that action. That's really good. That means the fan is connected really well. This guy's back in. Alright, put this one back in. one more to get.
And put in that one. All right, now we're going to put the bulkhead back on. These glides will lift up underneath. Underneath there. Okay, we're going to lift up. It's locked in. There we go. Go ahead and add the screw.
Bottom ones. And then have a little bit better. I want to make sure that
this fits inside that felt piece really good. Looks nice. Got it. Okay, now from the front panel. Get out of the way. And from the front panel, we're going to run these wires. I'm going to bring this one. You guys can see that or not. The wires hooked up. We're going to put these clips in at 45 degrees so they catch. There we go. And then we're going to add those screws back in. We're just tightening up these little screws and we got it. That's it. There's power. Nice and smooth. You open the door. That stops and that stops. Perfect. Thanks so much for watching.
Thanks so much for watching our video. We really appreciate your support. And when you get a chance, please press the subscribe button below so you can be subscribed, and also the notification bell so we can send you more videos about appliance repair. Please also give us a thumbs up if you enjoyed the video. If you really liked the video and it really helped you, please press this new applaud button and you can show your support and also get a nice clapping hands for your video. Thanks again.